Good evening, everyone. This is Henry Hushke back with the COVID Cast, Day 5. Just once again, for any new listeners, I'm Henry Hushke. I am a junior that lives in Traverse City, Michigan, up here in the northwest of the Lower Peninsula. And over these last few days, I've been using this cast as kind of both a combo of my commentary on the current COVID 19 pandemic and kind of as a journal of my experience through this. So, if you're new to the format, we're always going to start by talking about the virus and its progress. And I'm not going to lie to everyone. Over the past day, I have been freaking out. I really think that a Spanish flu-like scenario is not out of the question for this virus, and I'm very worried. So let's get to the data. So right now on the Johns Hopkins site, 214,894 confirmed cases. Yesterday we were sitting at about 194, I think, when we did this, so about a 20,000 case increase so far today total. And if we go to the actual, our biggest thing, again, if you look at the yellow line, the most important line here, the other locations, you can just see the exponential growth here. And today is still not done, so this final jump here, the final dot, is likely to rise. So that's not very good. And to see this, that it's an exponential growth, we can go to the logarithmic chart, and we see here that the line may be showing somewhat, it's maybe slightly down, but again, more cases are going to go in today, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be straight. So, pretty bad news across the board today to report with the virus. The U.S. Sitting now at 7,769 cases, so not even close to where we need it to be. Not even close, and it's going to explode, I'm afraid, over the next 2 weeks, and even later than that. So, yes, U.S. cases rising dramatically. The New York cases have ballooned. It's not even included in this count, but I'm just seeing reports now that New York City itself is reporting 532 extra cases within the city. So, discouraging stuff there. Not very good. U.S. is ballooning, and we're still pitiful in our testing. So, not a good situation in the U.S. Italy today, also a gut punch today in Italy, reporting an absolutely monumental amount of deaths today. Reporting, 475 deaths in Italy today and 4,200 new cases. So Italy, again, there's no way that this, and I can't believe I'm saying this, but there's no way that 35,000 cases is the number, because their number of deaths is seriously approaching 10% of their cases, and that is just ridiculous. And I really thought we'd see these cases lowering. So what I hope is happening, and this is not that great that this is the case, what I hope is happening is that Italy has just expanded their testing capacity, but they've actually had these people, and they've already been treating these people, and these people were already in the hospital. They just hadn't given them the test yet. And the reason for the increase in cases was due to their ability to test more people today. That's what I'm hoping. Because that's really what we need. So, again, I really hope Italy can continue to do well. And Germany has now joined the 5-figure club, reaching 12,000 cases, and France will be tomorrow in the 12-figure club, in the 5-figure club. And Spain today, terrible. We're gonna see bad stuff out of Spain for a while. So I wish I could be more positive, but I've really concluded that this virus is serious, everyone. And I want to emphasize, too, that there are a ton of people who have this virus who do not know yet. It could even be me. It could literally even be me. So I want to emphasize, here's my message to anyone listening. Please, to the best of your ability, stay home. Stay home as much as you can. As much as you can, stay home. I cannot emphasize this any more because this is an incredibly huge issue. Just today, Illinois basically doubled its cases reported today. Let me see here. Yeah, Illinois reporting 128 new cases today, bringing their total up to 288. So that's something I'm not quite 100% sure, but that's practically a doubling. And looking at the Illinois website here, they've only tested not even 2,500 people in a state as big as Illinois. So that is unbelievably horrific. And if you think about it, these were the cases. Again, we can assume maybe the average of these cases probably contracted 14 days ago, the time between when they start showing symptoms and then they finally decide to go get a test, or they're finally allowed to get a test. And if you think about it, last night, Illinois held the Democratic primary. So unspeakable, I think the case numbers are going to grow to be in the U.S., unfortunately. And I want to say something that I haven't said here on the cast before. But my dad is actually an ER doctor, so up here in northern Michigan. So just seeing this has been really disheartening for me. And I'm worried about my dad, for sure, because still, even at this point, we have basically a piecemeal response, and it's really disheartening. I don't want to get too specific, but the things I'm hearing out of the ER right now, it's going to get bad. It's going to be bad, and we have to make sure it's not as bad as it could be. That's where we're at right now, because it's going to be bad. So please, I beg you, stay home. I've been on Instagram. I've been looking at your feeds. Yes, you. I've seen you still going out with friends, getting together, even in these small groups. I beg you, please stay home, and please limit your contact to your family group. Practice good hygiene, and please stay home. I cannot emphasize this enough. So now that I've gotten through that rant and just about the virus, because it's really making me, I'm anxious, if you can't tell. Let's talk about some other things. So today I'm going to do something that I've been hesitating doing, and that's wading into the world of politics. I know I'm probably going to catch some flack for this, but I just think things have happened, and I do not want the record to be swept. Just for me personally, is kind of keeping this cast as my journal of these events. I need to record what's happening so that history cannot be skewed. So I'm mainly talking about our President Trump. I have been severely disappointed, and I'm angry with the president. There's no sugarcoating it. I'm angry with the president. He said just yesterday that his response has been a 10 out of 10. And that's the most laughable thing I think I've ever heard. And that's the most ridiculous thing I think I've ever heard. Do I think that the president has gotten more serious recently? Honestly, it's still even kind of hard to tell if he's taking it seriously. But I do think he's more serious, taking it more seriously than he was. So for any of you that know me locally, I, back in 8th grade and before that, I used to do impressions of Donald Trump. And you can actually find those on this YouTube channel. You can see in 8th grade at my talent show when I did an impression of Donald Trump. So to bring some levity to this and to highlight just how ridiculous the president is still being right now, I'm going to read some of the president's tweets right now. so that they're here, they're recorded, and we can just keep this in memory. If you want to skip this part of the video, that's fine, but I have to do this. So, here's my Trump impression coming up. This was the president who, by the way, also in not the press conference today, but yesterday, talked about how I'm the most non-partisan, I'm the most bipartisan guy. Donald Trump will be the least partisan. He was saying that yesterday. He was talking about how he would be the least partisan. Well, here is the president, just 8 hours ago on Twitter, while thousands, tens of thousands of people are getting infected, and likely thousands are going to die. While this is happening 8 hours ago, 95% approval rating in the Republican Party, 53% overall. Not bad considering I get nothing but fake and corrupt news day and night. In quotes, Russia, Russia, Russia. Then the, in quotes, Ukraine scam, parentheses, where's the whistleblower, quotations, comma, the quote-unquote impeachment hoax, and more. Also, according to the Daily Caller, leading sleepy Joe Biden in Florida, 48% to 42%. Again, this is the president during this crisis, as he's claiming that he is the least partisan person. Let me go back to yesterday. Now, before I read this one, I would like to emphasize that our governor, Gretchen Whitmer, was one of the first governors to shut down schools, has shut down restaurants and bars, something many governors have still not done, and has just generally been very public about fighting this disease. So, as this happened, the president, who was still saying that COVID-19 was under control, had his advisors like Larry Kudlow saying, buy the dip, there's no issue. While that was happening, here, Gretchen Whitmer was actually getting prepared, actually taking action. So, yesterday, this is what the president, trying to unite the country and being the least partisan person, tweeted as his message to the American people. Failing Michigan governor must work harder and be much more proactive. We are pushing her to get the job done. I stand with Michigan. President Trump, I would like to let you know that you most certainly do not stand with Michigan. And the fact that you're using this time to just slander people who are actually trying to solve the crisis. And I understand that you are taking action now. I do understand that. But it's disgusting to me. And I just thought I should really say that because it's frankly embarrassing. And yeah. Also, another action that is completely embarrassing and should never be wiped from the history books was when President Trump went ahead and signed a picture of the Dow Jones Industrial Average, the stock chart, on Friday when he introduced his plan with the CEOs and there was a big rally in the market. And he signed that. Let me look this up. Okay, yes. So, President Trump literally signed the stock market on a day when, after taking humongous losses the previous day, the Dow Jones spiked after he announced his new business initiative. And the president did this in some show of that he should be judged on how the market's doing. So, with that knowledge in hand, I'm going to stick this in the podcast here. The Dow Jones Industrial Average in 1 month has gone from a high here of 29,386 to today at the close, 19,898. So as long as President Trump would like to sign the stock market and show everyone how it's doing, and that should be how we should measure his success during this time when he should be focused on how to best solve the virus, as that's the root cause of all the problems. No, no, he's focused on this. So as long as he would like to be focused on this, I think we should hold him accountable too. And I think Trump should sign the 30% decline that we've had in 1 month in the stock market. And maybe he'll come out and say, record-breaking drops in the stock market. Nobody could get a bigger drop in the stock market. It was huge, huge, huge. So I know I'm coming after the president today, but I just really think that he's going to try to gaslight the American people into this idea that he has been on top of this the whole time. He's discussed how, he's like, I took very early action closing the border with China. Not many people wanted me to do that. It was a very controversial decision, tough decision. And a technique President Trump uses a lot that you'll notice is he talks about this crisis in the past tense. He always says, I saved many lives. I saved many lives. I didn't even do it there, sorry. I saved so many lives with that. It's like President Trump. We have the crisis. It's happening right here. Can we please focus on it right here? But no. And I know I'm coming after the president, but I really just think I'm looking at my dad, who's literally going out, and they have limited protocols, they have limited resources, and the president is tweeting about politics, and it's annoying. It's really annoying, and I'm just looking at the logarithmic charts. I'm looking at what's happening. I'm looking at what we're doing, and it's frankly, it's ridiculous to me. So I had to speak out about this. It's been gnawing at me, and it's been gnawing at me, and it's been gnawing at me. So, and there's so much more I could talk about. If you would like to get into an argument, I'm certain there is bountiful evidence of the way that the president has screwed up this crisis. That being said, this crisis obviously would be terrible for any president. I just think that the situation is being exacerbated, and this is a situation that does not need to be exacerbated. So, yeah, that's all I'd like to say on that front. I know some of you might get turned away by that, but I'm going to tell the truth on this podcast. This is my journal, this is my recording, and I want to let it be known how I'm feeling right now. So, bring that to the economy. Today, the Dow Jones, you may as well add an N to the end of Dow, the Dow Jones, clocked a down 6.3% day, which makes sense, frankly. I mean, it's looking like we're going to have to shut the economy down for an extended period of time. The stimulus, they're working on the stimulus right now, and I really hope, it's a tough situation, right? The way the U.S. economy is, it's just not set up. It's just showing the problems with being extremely leveraged, that everything has to keep going 24/7. And I'm nervous for everyone. This is just an extra thing that's been making me stressed. So, yeah, I hope the economy isn't completely screwed, and the federal government will get it through. It will survive, but we have to stay vigilant, and we have to survive too. So that's my thoughts on the economy right now. Anyways, I'm not going to be so negative for this last part. Okay, actually, sorry, I'm going to be negative because here's something I didn't talk about. Just looking around the U.S., even right now, we know that there's going to be a lot more cases found in the U.S. I mean, I'm talking like they're going to find like over 100,000 cases in the U.S. when this is said and done. I feel at this point, I don't feel like that's an exaggeration. And I'm looking around, even today, when, again, I feel somewhat confident, and I hate to say it, but I feel somewhat confident there's 100,000 cases around the U.S. Even on a day like today, I've just seen some anecdotes that make me super discouraged. I see video clips of people in Miami like mad that the beaches are shut down. It's like, please, come on. We need to get on board. My former golf, and I understand why, but back when I used to live in Florida fun fact. And my former golf coach in Florida, who I still keep in touch with, I'm good friends with, you know, he's still doing lessons, which I understand, but, I know what that entails. He has lessons with, maybe like, maybe anywhere in the neighborhood of about 6 or 7 kids each day, maybe 10, just depends on how things are going. That's not good. That's not good if that's still happening right now. And there's so many cases where we just don't know where they are. That's not good. One of my pairs of grandparents, in a decision that is still annoying to me, decided to go out to Arizona. They're on my dad's side of the family. It's a very big part of the family. And they're in Arizona right now, and they are flying back to Michigan. They live in Michigan. And they're flying back to Michigan right now. I mean, this is so insane that this is still happening in the United States. And it's why I'm so disheartened and discouraged right now. And I'm in a rough place with all this. Again, I think this is going to be bad. And I can't put it any other way. Hopefully this means that I'm just at the bottom of my fear, or I'm at the most fearful point, and I'll begin to get more bullish in the coming days. I really hope that's the case. And I hope that we can begin to see some progress in all the event cancellations that we've had. And I think that will have an effect. It must have an effect. I just still think the populace isn't on board. And going back to, again, the golf lessons, that's his source of income. That's how he relies. That's how he puts food on the table. Most Americans, in the gig economy and that sort of thing, they have to go out, work, and interact with people every day, and they can't just work from home. So I don't know what the solution to this is, but they're big problems, and they're not going away anytime soon. So now that I've ranted for a while and made you all afraid, let's talk about life. So how am I holding up? Well, I think I've said I've been a little stressed, but I'm gonna try to cool down. I've been getting a little behind on my schoolwork, honestly. Kind of got to get back on that. Although it's kind of hard to do schoolwork when you're convinced that you're not going back to school. So yeah, but I did. For those of you who know me, I did do my AP Lang, turn that in, so I got something. AP Gov is gonna take me down. It's gonna destroy me. This thing I've done like 2 pages in the course packet. So maybe once I'm done recording this, that will be my next course of action. Also, I have no clue what's up in AP Bio. One final thing I guess I'll leave the broadcast with is some news about the NFL, about the entertainment world. Tom Brady going to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I swear Tom Brady literally just did this so that ESPN would not get into the fetal position and just start crying. But I have no idea why Tom Brady did this. Already considered by most the greatest of all time. Could have stuck with one team his whole career. Could have retired. No one would have blamed him. Instead, he's going to eke out a final paycheck in Tampa Bay. I don't know, Tom. I'm sorry. I just don't get it. I feel like he's dropped off. I understand that Tampa Bay has a lot of potential, though. So, I don't know. Hopefully there'll be an NFL season or I won't get too screwed up and we'll be able to see Patrick Mahomes come in and win again. Oh, what? Yeah. Per usual, the Cowboys are bungling things. That's kind of awesome to see in the NFL. Oh, here's one thing. In the NBA, someone needs to find out. I need to know what happened to Charles Barkley. Okay? This is my next goal. By tomorrow's cast, I want to know what happened to Charles Barkley. If anyone can tell me what happened to Charles Barkley, please leave that down in the description. Okay, because he's like, I'm going into quarantine and I'm getting tested. All right, and I haven't gotten the terrible news yet, so I don't know what that means. But I'd assume I'd know if he was negative, so I'm worried. Not Chuck. Come on. Stupid COVID-19. Ugh. Anyways, now that I am 25 minutes into this, yeah, again, I'm really looking to talk to someone else about their experience during this whole thing. So, yeah, I really want to talk to you. If you have a topic that you're interested in, please let me know. And just shoot me a comment or shoot me a message if you know me. And we'll put that together. We'll get something going. I don't know, maybe Zoom or something. I don't know. So, yep. Thank you so much for tuning in today. I know it's pretty negative today, but I kind of just had to get this off my chest because sometimes you just got to say what's on your mind. So, with that, thank you so much, and have a wonderful Wednesday.